Kiddos, this week we are multiplying fractions and whole numbers as we get ourselves settled into this new unit of fractions. So let's take a look. A couple of reminders when we multiply. If our fraction doesn't have a denominator, we're going to give it 1. Once they're both fractions, we're going to multiply across the top. 1 times 3 is 3. Across the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3 to get our answer. And then, whenever possible, please simplify. I know that when the top of my fraction and the bottom of my fraction are the same number, this is the same as saying I have 1 whole. So 1/3 times 3 is 1 whole. If it doesn't have a denominator, give it 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. This is the same as 1 whole. You're going to see a lot of matching here. 1/6 times 6 over 1. We get 6 over 6, which equals 1 whole. 1/4 of 4 gives us 4 over 4, which is 1 whole. 1/8 of 8. 8 over 8 gives us 1. 1/2 of 2. 2 over 2 gives us 1. Any questions on these? Bring them with you to class. All right, sweet faces, on this one, we are using our number line to multiply. Remember that 1/5 times 3 is the same as saying I have 1/5 3 times. So if we start at 1/5 and we multiply it 3 times, and we're going to check this both ways, we have 1 times 3 is 3, and we have 5 times 1 is 5. So our math should show us that if I have 1/5 3 times, I have 3/5. So let's do the jumps. 1, 2, 3. Our multiplication matches our picture. Give ourselves a denominator. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. If we do 2 jumps, we should have 2/4. 1, 2. Yes, we do. 1 over 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. If I do 1 jump, I should have 1/3. They match. Give it a denominator. 6 times 1 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. If I jump 6 times, I should have 6 over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 2. For my friends who know a little bit extra about simplifying, 2 is how many are in a whole. I have 6 pieces, which means I can pull out how many wholes? 2, 4, 6. This is the same as saying that I have 3 wholes or 3 groups of 2. Down here, if I multiply by 7, 1 times 5 is 7. 5 times 1 is 5. If I jump 7 times, I should be at 7/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It matches. And if I simplify this, 5 pieces make a whole. I have 7, so I take out 1 whole, which is 5 pieces. It leaves me with 2 over 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 3 times 1 is 3. If I jump 1/3 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They match. If I simplify this, 3 makes a whole. I have 5 pieces. I take out 1 whole. 5 minus 3 is 2. This is the same as saying I have 1 and 2/3. Any questions on this? Bring them with you to class. All right, loves, this time we are going to multiply our fractions and simplify. Remember, if it doesn't have a denominator, give it 1. 7 times 6 is 42. 8 times 1 is 8. Our top number is bigger than our bottom, so we need to pull out our wholes. Let's divide. 8 times 5 gives me 40. 42 minus 40 is 2. So this means I have 5 wholes, and 2 out of 8 is my fraction. Could also simplify this further by dividing both of these by 2 to get 5 and 1/4. Over here, no denominator, give it 1. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 6 is 6. The top is bigger than the bottom. I'm going to divide to simplify. 6 times 2 is 12. That's the closest I can get. This means I have 2 wholes, and 3 out of 6 If I divided these both by 3, I could simplify further. It's the same as saying 2 and 1/2. Coming down here, no denominator, give it 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. This is already simplest form. The answer is 3/4. No denominator, give it 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. 2/3. That is already simplified. 2 more on this page. No denominator, give it 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 times 1 is 5. 4/5 is already simplified. And then our last one over here, give it our denominator. 7 times 5 is 35. 8 times 1 is 8. We're going to divide to simplify. 8 times 4 is 32. It's going to be the closest I can get. So I have 4 wholes and 3 over 8. 4 and 3/8. Any questions on this page? Bring them with you to class. All right, Nuggets, we have another page where we are working on our multiplication. These were a little bit sticky. We had some 2-digit numbers to multiply, but remember, if we're not sure, we can use skip counting. We can use repeated addition. All right, first one. No denominator, give it 1. 19 times 2 is 38. 3 times 1 is 3. Divide to simplify. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 8 2 times. I have 12 and 2/3. Over here, 16 times 1 is 16. 1 times 5 is 5. Divide to simplify. 5 times 3 gives me 15. This means I have 3 and 1/5. 3 and 1/5 is the simplest form. Down here, 11 times 3 is 33. 8 times 1 is 8. Divide to simplify. 8 times 4 is 32. That's the closest I can do. Subtract for 1. This is the same as 4 and 1/8. Multiplying by 15 over 1. 15 times 5 is 75. 6 times 1 is 6. Divide to simplify. 6 goes into 7 one time because 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring it on down. 6 goes into 15 two times because 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract for 3. This means we have 12 and 3/6. I could also simplify this down to 12 and 1/2 by dividing these both by 3. All right, Nuggets, last two for this page. 13 times 1 is 13. 2 times 1 is 2. Divide to simplify. 2 times 6 is 12. 6 and 1/2. Last one. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 4 is 4. Divide to simplify. 4 goes into 12 3 times. This is the same as whole number 3. Any questions on these? Bring them with you to class. Last page is word problems. Remember, with word problems, we're asking ourselves, what are they asking me to do? What numbers are they giving me to use? So we're talking about Chris. Chris is making a birdhouse. So far, he has cut 15 pieces that are 1/3 of a foot each. How much wood has he cut? So we have 15 pieces. Each is 1/3. We're going to multiply across. 15 times 1 is 15. 1 times 3 is 3. Divide to simplify. This is the same as 5. And it's going to be 5 feet. Over here, Emily is baking casseroles that call for 3/4 of a cup of cheese. She needs to make 5 casseroles. How much cheese will she need? So we need 3/4 in each of 5 casseroles. No denominator, give it 1. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 1 is 4. We can simplify this. 4 goes into 15 3 times, and I would have 3 pieces left over, 3 and 3/4. Alex brought 8 pies to a party. Only 2/5 of each are left over. How much pie does he have now? So his 8 pies, each 2/5 were eaten. We're going to multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 5 is 5. Divide to simplify. 5 goes into 16 3 times with 1 left over, which means we have 3 and 1/5 of our pies left over. Lauren has 4 containers of apple juice where each is only half full. How much apple juice does she have? 4 containers. Each is 1/2 full. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. She has 2 full containers of apple juice. Down to Sonia. Sonia purchased 9 bags of candy. She needs to separate into bowls, each containing 1/6 of the candy. How many bowls will she need? 9 bags. We're cutting each candy bag into 1/6. 9 times 1 is 9. 1 times 6 is 6. 9 divided by 6 is 1 and 3/6. We can simplify this to 1 and 1/2. And then our last one is Mrs. Brown. She has 10 boxes of crowns that each have 5/8 left. How many crowns does she have? So 10 boxes, each have 5/8 left. 10 times 5 is 50. 1 times 8 is 8. Divide to simplify. 6 times 8 is 48. There's 2 left, so there's 6 full boxes and 2/8 of a box left. Any questions, mathletes? Bring them with you to class.